I'd like to start the regular session of the Isabella County Board of Commissioners. And join me in the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson.
Here.
Commissioner Embry.
Here.
Commissioner Jalzinski.
Here.
Commissioner Engler.
Here.
Commissioner Marino. Commissioner Swaney. Commissioner Hope. All present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Up next would be approval of the agenda. We'll start the meeting with general public comments. We don't have any presentations or special reports or appointments to boards or commissions. Brings us to committee reports, Finance and Administration Committee.
Finance Administration Committee is all set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee is all set, Mr. Chairman.
And Human Resources and Public Works Committee.
Human Resources and Public Works Committee is all set, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. We don't have any intergovernmental affairs, no administrative controller issues, no unfinished business. Under new business, this same couple of items on special meetings for the administrator controller position. And then we'll have general public comment again and announcements and then adjournment. So with that, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Support Hutchinson.
Supported, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Very good. We have an agenda and that brings us to general public comment. One for general public comment. No one for general public comment, a consent agenda. Commissioner Embry, would you present that for us?
Certainly.
Sir.
Motion reads, move to approve and place on file the October 15th, 2024 work session meeting minutes, the October 15th, 2024 regular meeting minutes, the October 29th, 2024 Finance and Administration Committee meeting minutes, the October 29th, 2024 Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee meeting minutes, and the October 29th, 2024 Human Resources and Public Works Committee meeting minutes.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve and place on file the consent agenda. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Committee reports, Finance and Administration Committee.
Mr. Chairman, our first item is the October 11th, 2024 invoice list, the October 18, 2024 invoice list, and the October 25, 2024 invoice list, and October 31, 2024 adjustment list. Motion reads, move to ratify and place on file the October 11, 2024 invoice list in the amount of $1,662,931.22. The October 18, 2024 invoice list in the amount of $342,406.07. The October 25th, 2024 invoice list in the amount of $90,010.46 in the adjustment list dated October 31st, 2024.
Support.
Been moved and supported to ratify and place on file the October 11th, 2024 invoice list, the October 18th, 2024 invoice list, the October 25th, 2024 invoice list, and the October 31st, 2024 adjustment list. Discussion.
So my common opening is that these requests for payments get reviewed many, many times. They come from department heads, elected officials to administration that will do a review. Finally, it comes to all the commissioners at their homes. Then it comes before the Finance and Administration Committee meeting. Then it came before our work session this afternoon. And finally, it comes to the regular meeting for final review and approval. So many, many review opportunities for these. The invoice lists usually have front-loaded $5,000 plus payments And then in the background material, there's all the smaller payments requested for that particular period. So on the October 11th list, I did cite in the work session that Michigan Municipal Risk Management Authority is one of the larger bills. Well, it's not the largest, but it's a large one, $152,321.50. And that is liability and property insurance premium payment for the county. Clark Construction, September construction charges for the correctional facility amounts to $1,235,674.06 as a payment. There's a number of smaller ones that are ones that we've been dealing with, tower leases and tower maintenance, restitution from the clerk to the CMU bookstore. At the bottom, there's four payments, 2 made to Jackson County Youth Center and the 2 more to the McBride Quality Care. Those 4 checks going out amount to $57,000. And these are payments directed by the court in the child care fund for supervision of children that need additional attention in the county. Are there any questions with those front-loaded bills or any of the background bills? Moving on then to the October 18th. The big one there is $155,000 paid to being paid to Train US Incorporated. And that is a courthouse roof HVAC unit requested by facilities. This unit we've been having problems with for a few years, and we've tried different maintenance options. And the last one was to change oil, but the thought is that the oil was the incorrect oil, which probably permanently damaged the unit. So we are looking at some litigation, but rather than have the county courthouse have to deal with lack of air conditioning or lack of heat in the winter, we need to move ahead with the repair. And I think the old equipment, as it gets lifted off, will be put in storage for the possible litigation in the future. But with this in place, they'll get a new unit that should correct the problems that we've been experiencing the last couple of years.
Let's hope.
Any other questions dealing with any of the front-loaded bills or any of the background bills? Moving on to the October 25th list. Really, there's no significant, I guess any kind of bill over $1,000 is significant, but the highest one here is $10,797, and that's for purchase of laptop computers for multiple departments. We have a rotation system on equipment so that it is kept up to date. And we also have another $7,000 that's being paid to cover licenses for Microsoft Office software to the county's computers. Commissioner Engler did bring up too that we do have municipal media corporations getting $7,000 for the Recycle Coach annual software for the recycling center. And that is one that will be reimbursed. The county will reimburse over time, or has been reimbursed. Has been?
There was an award they won at a for $10,000 award, so
Yep.
that'll be, there's still a little bit left in there yet, so.
Any questions on the remaining front-loaded bills or the background bills? The adjustment list. Listen, for each of these invoice lists, we'll have any of the bills that are being recommended for payment. If there's been any changes from the dollar amount appearing on those invoice lists, because this is a report that we just get shortly before the meeting, it's identified. Most of them are payments in advance to either get a discount or to avoid a late fee. And that is the case for all 3 of these invoice lists, although there are 2 invoices that did enter a new category, and we don't pay sales tax as a county. We're exempt from sales tax, and there were 2 bills that the sales tax is going to be reduced or taken out of the bills, which saves really over $300, closing on $350 in reduction. So that corrects that error. Any questions about any of the other adjustments?
Hearing no further discussion, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Embry, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hope. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
And the final item for the Finance and Administration Committee is the prime contract change order number 28. Motion reads, move to approve the prime contract change order number 28 with Clark Construction in the net credit amount of $438 and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve prime contract change order number 28. Discussion.
During our work session, we had our senior project manager, Heidi Heinz Kendall, come through and give us a description of all the changes that have been made recently. And it resulted in a net credit to our buyout of $438, which now stands at $45,764. You add that to our contingency, which we have not touched, we have $827,538, which constitutes 38% of funding remaining available to us, with 92% of the project complete.
Those are all good numbers. It's nice to see one of these change orders with a plus sign in front of it.
As I mentioned during the work session, a lot of that has to do with the sheriff and facilities director, Shoemaker, doing their due diligence to really keep this thing under budget and
Absolutely.
online. So again, thank you to them.
Any further discussion? That item, hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Embry,
Yes.
Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Hope. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
This completes the work of the Finance and Administration Committee, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioners, and that brings us to Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
We only have one item, Chairperson Hope, and that is human resources, space quote for furniture. Motion reads, move to approve the quote from Space in the amount of $200,000.98 for furniture at the Isabella County Sheriff's Office and Correctional Facility. And authorize board chairperson to sign the same.
Part.
Been moved and supported to approve the quote from Space for furniture. Discussion.
All right, the sheriff was here earlier and also at the subcommittee meeting to explain this is the large purchase of the furniture for a correction facility. We had put aside $500,000 to purchase furniture and also things like monitors and other items so that we wouldn't have to pay sales tax on it which would have been the case if we had Clark Construction do the purchases for us. There was about $24,000 left in this budget that we can, if we have other items that we find that we need to purchase. Also, we will probably have a slight reduction from this amount because of some changes to the order. So we'll see when that comes, how much that is.
Other questions, comments? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Embry, Commissioner Hope. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Chairperson leads the work of criminal justice and county affairs.
Thank you, Commissioners, and that brings us to Human Resources and Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our first item is Region 7 Area Agency on Aging Purchase of Service Provider Agreement. The motion reads, move to approve the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging Purchase of Service Provider Agreement, along with the addendums and the Business Associate Agreement, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
Ordered to approve the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging Purchase of Service Provider Agreement. Discussion.
Sure. We've had this kind of agreement with the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging since 1999. And under these programs, the Commission on Aging provides a variety of different services for individual clients in their homes, like home delivered meals, homemaking, personal care, and respite care. And in this instance, Addendum D contains compliant attestation document. And Addendum F is a premium pay increase for an additional 20 cents per hour, supplementing the existence 320 per hour premium pay. And this is if folks need some extra help on their situation when our workers are seeing them.
Good. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson.
Yes.
Commissioner Embry,
Yes.
Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope.
Yes.
0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, our second item, delinquent water billing roll. Motion reads, move to approve the delinquent water billing roll as submitted by the Board of Public Works, which constitutes delinquent service charges of 6 months or more as of September 1st, 2024, for properties within Leggett Number 2 subdivision, Village Township of Sherman, County of Isabella, State of Michigan, and therefore constitute a lien on the property as provided by the County of Isabella Ordinance Number 1 of 1975.
Very good. It's been moved and supported to approve the delinquent water billing roll. Discussion.
Yes, this was reported to us, Mike Lousberry, with the Drain Commission, and this is something that comes up every year. This is actually down. There's 35 accounts, so it's dwindling down, which is a good thing. The amount of billing is $10,153.45. 44. And this allows us to move forward, put a lien on it, and try to collect their taxes.
Yeah, and I would just add that most, if not all of these properties are vacant lots that people just quit paying the yearly service fee. But with that, is there any more discussion on that? And hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Embry, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Hope. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, our last item is Renewable Ready Communities Grant Agreement. The motion reads, move to approve the Renewable Ready Communities Grant Agreement and the awarded amount of $375,000 between the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy and Isabella County, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the Renewable Ready Communities Grant Agreement. Discussion.
Yeah, there was a time constraint on this, and I was so happy when Tim Neoport came to the Human Resources and Public Works Committee and let us know about this so we could expedite it, and we did. And so it's not always, things take a long time in government, right? Okay, we were very happy to get this grant. It's goes both to the county and also the township of Isabella County. It's a $750,000 total, with half going to the county and half going to the Isabella Township. And another thing that made me very happy was Eagle was very flexible about it. They had to change one little detail, and they did that without having to submit it again, because we already had set it up. And they were cool about it, so lots of good things. Any questions or comments on this? Go ahead.
The dollar amount you stated, the 375,000 just is not the counties. It's divided between the county and the township equally.
No, the 375 is what is to the county. So it's $5,000 per megawatt. There's 150 megawatts. So that is the total, that would be the total award, 750,000. 2,500 per megawatt to the host community, so that's Isabella Township, they're hosting the solar farm. $2,500 per megawatt to the permitting agency, which is county zoning.
Those dollars can't be just put in our general fund. They have to be put in a dedicated fund for a project that improves our energy efficiency as a county government.
That is a great point. Yes, that's exactly right. And so as Director Neport mentioned in the work session, we've applied for solar panels on the county administration building to help really electrify that building.
And we'll go with the heat pump that we are gonna also put in there. It's really hooks up well with solar arrays.
And kudos to Tim Nealport for having all the paperwork ready so we could expedite it. Also, the megawatts gauged a little low, so we're gonna get additional monies there too. It's gonna take it up another 8 gigawatts, so a little more money for us and the township, so.
Every little
Thank
bit.
you.
And it should help us save money on our energy costs.
Absolutely.
I think it will also spur more development of these kind of projects in our
That's-
county.
The other thing that Tim said is there's some things coming down the pike. They couldn't announce yet, but in the year 2025 and 2026 that we're all set way farther ahead than most counties, so
Yep.
good to go.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Embry, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Hope. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
That concludes the work of the Human Resources and Public Works Committee, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, commissioners, and that'll bring us down to new business. We've got a couple items there. I think maybe I'll just move over to this side of the table, and Commissioner Engler, would you present that item A if you?
That the motion reads, move to approve scheduling an Isabella County Board of Commissioners special meeting for the purpose of reviewing applications for the administrator controller position on Friday, November 8th, 2024 at 3:00 PM as an in-person meeting, the Isabella County Emergency Operations Center located at 2008 East Preston Street, Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve scheduling an Isabella County Board of Commissioners special meeting for the purpose of reviewing applications for the administrator controller position on Friday, November 8th at 3 PM as an in-person at the Isabella County Emergency Operations Center. Any discussion on that?
The one comment is that part of the meeting will be closed session to protect personal information, so.
Right, thanks for adding that.
Hmm.
Okay, hearing no further discussion, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Embry, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hope. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Clerk, and for item B, we'll keep moving this way. Commissioner Swaney, would you?
Motion reads, move to approve scheduling an Isabella County Board of Commissioners special meeting for the purpose of holding interviews for the administrator controller position on Wednesday, November 13th, 2024 at 3 PM as an in-person meeting at the Isabella County Commission on Aging, Room A, located at 2200 South Lincoln Road, Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve scheduling an Isabella County Board of Commissioners special meeting for the purpose of holding interviews for the administrator controller position on Wednesday, November 13th at 3 PM as an in-person meeting at the Isabella County Commission on Aging, Room A. Any discussion on that? Yes, sir.
I do want to say I appreciate the move from November 15th. I'm an avid deer hunter. And to know that this was being scheduled at prime hunting hours on opening day put me into almost well, I won't say, but this is acceptable.
No. Mm-mm.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
that.
Say that, moving forward here with getting an administrator, sadly, our administrator will be leaving, December 5th. And we'll put a very large empty hole,
Hmm.
in the county. So we're looking to approve another administrator for the year, a contract for 1 year. So that in 1 year, if there are other commissioners on the board, they can then, have a say in the contract.
Thanks for adding that. Any further discussions?
Quick question. Last time we did this, you put out questions for we doing the same thing?
I believe the hiring committee has questions that they're working towards with HR, so everyone will get the questions ahead of time, I think.
Could be receiving the questions tomorrow. So, and you can, provide comment back to Teresa Bristow in HR if
Perfect.
you have any changes or if you'd like to see an additional question.
Yeah, I've got a couple.
And then I think the applications will receive ahead of time, correct? Was that the discussion?
Yeah, the discussion with HR was they were gonna send them out a week ahead of time, so not sure why we haven't seen them yet, but I'm sure we'll see them tomorrow.
Well, and I might be able to shed some light on that too. I did talk with Teresa earlier today because we're still trying to wrap our head around the confidentiality that was requested by some of the applicants. And so as we've talked about Friday's meeting, you'll have to go into closed session to consider at least the applications who have requested confidentiality. My suggestion to Teresa was if we need to go into closed session to talk about something, we probably shouldn't be emailing that out to the commissioners, but she could definitely email out the other applications. So look for those. Well, I'll reiterate with her in the morning to get those
Definitely,
out there.
If you talk to her, have her at least email the questions.
Okay, we'll do that
I
too.
think, I know that in our meeting, we talked about having redacted copies sent out so that people could review.
Yes, and I think she's redacted everything, so that in the meeting, you'll refer to the candidates by a letter rather than a name.
Candidate one or candidate A.
You got it, exactly. So,
Okay.
we'll get out to you all the questions and as many of the applications as we can at this point.
At this point, before we have interviews, we have to maintain, the state laws on confidentiality. Once interviews come, though, those confidentiality laws won't apply, and so we'll be able to
An interview.
ask those questions in person.
Publicly.
Yes.
Okay, that's good to
If
hear.
I may, so your agenda on Friday, when you make a motion, you'll actually move to interview candidates by letter. Teresa will work after Friday's meeting to call the candidates that you've chosen and confirm with them that they're available. If you're about to set the 13th as the day, she'll check and make sure they're available on the 13th. Then, once Julie puts out the agenda for the 13th, that will have the names of the candidates on there. So you'll have candidate, the name at certain time, another name at
Got it.
another time. So
Okay.
that's when it becomes a publicly known thing, regardless of the confidentiality status.
Got it.
Great process.
And Commissioner Swaney already stated this, but I think it bears repeating that we'll have, we don't know how many, but we'll have some new commissioners on the board next year. And so we're looking at a 1-year contract and see how it goes. And those commissioners can have say in whether or not that contract's renewed. So. Any other discussion on that? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Embry, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Hope. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And that completes new business, brings us down to general public comments. Is there anyone for general public comment? No one for general public comment. Do we have anyone online? I don't think we.
Not appear so, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Seeing no one for general public comment, announcements, commissioners, any announcements? Yes, sir.
I cannot believe I missed this in the work session, but I'd like to wish luck to 3 of our local teams that are going to be playing football this weekend. We have Mount Pleasant High School, Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart, and Beale City High School, all traveling on the road in the high school playoffs. So good luck, teams.
Any other announcements? I have heard from a couple of folks that there are long lines at some of the precincts.
Mhm.
You need to be in line by 8 PM. They cannot turn you away, but you have to be there by 8 PM. So get in line if you still want to vote. Also, I want to thank Clerk Lux. It's been a tough year, I know, with the 9 days of early voting. It's added a whole nother layer to your job, but you have executed it extremely well. Everything, from what I hear is really smooth. Was it tough? Job, and you know, and I think maybe next year we'll think about moving this meeting, so you don't have to do this and take care of your, I'm sure you have other stuff to do tonight. So.
Be a little more thoughtful.
I guess we just never thought about it before, but. First, Monday in November, so it, Tuesday, excuse me, so it falls on election day.
Mhm.
So maybe we'll try to do something different, but we appreciate you. Thank you. Yep. So. Is there a motion or adjourn?
So,
Supported. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Turned at 7:30.
Remember? This is unusual. Tomorrow night, same spot, 5:30, special meeting.